Hello viewers, so today I'm about to start a playthrough of a game of Crusader Kings 2. This is a grand strategy game from Paradox. So I'm going to be doing just a single player game. I'm going to be using the ruler designer, and I'm going to be starting a brand new game. So, I'm probably going to do more Let's Plays of this game in the future. But for now, I'm going to have to just make a call on my own. Definitely leave feedback if you all have any kind of suggestions or anything like that as to what you would like to see. So I've been playing the game for a while, and kind of the scheme I've come up with that I want to do right now is I want to go back as far as possible, so we can kind of just let this Let's Play go as long as people are interested in seeing it. And the goal I've kind of set for myself is to use the Catholic Church to my benefit as much as possible. Basically, I'm going to be a manipulative bastard. So part of me is considered doing a playthrough as Charlemagne, but normally I like to start as a character who's not quite so overpowered. I normally like to start at the Count level and build my way up, because to me, the struggle for early success and the sort of excitement that can come with finally being able to expand your power is a big draw to the game. So I am going to be an Italian, just because that makes it a lot easier to influence the church. One of the things they look for when they appoint cardinals is whether you are Italian or not. So I need to find a count I can play as. There are a whole series of choices here. The direct character doesn't really matter because, again, I'm going to be building my own character. I do want to make sure that I only have one county, though. I want to make it as challenging as it could be. Now, one thing that I like about being in the north here is that it gives me the ability to expand northward, but also the ability to actually influence things further down. So I'm actually going to play as the Count of Lombardy. I'm going to go to ruler designer. So we need to get a cool looking shield for ourselves, our coat of arms for ourselves. There you go. The lion one's always reasonably cool. So let's be a black lion. How edgy do we want this to be? Do we want to be a black lion on red? So my first name doesn't really matter. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure my education is good. I want to be an elusive shadow. We're going to be doing a lot of intrigue. I'm not going to be married. I'll figure that out myself. Traits. I definitely want to be a genius. It's just the simplest way to start out with a boon to pretty much everything. Now, I'm only allowed to make my character up to 50 years old. And these numbers that you see on the right side of my choices are all just different things that add or subtract years. So for example, let me make my character stressed. Now I'm down to 44. The lunatic option gives a whole lot of really interesting things that can pop up, unique events that pop up. So I'm actually going to be a lunatic, and I am going to also be wounded. So wounded, if just a pro tip, if you're ever playing this sort of game, being wounded is excellent in terms of starting attributes like this. Because in the ruler designer, it gives you back like 11 years, and it normally heals after only a few months. So it doesn't really create much in the way of issues for you. I could be a stressed, lunatic, wounded dwarf. Yeah, the game gets a little crazy at certain points. So I think the other thing I want to do is I want to be lustful. That lets you have more kids. Hurts your monthly piety, but that's not that big of a deal. And a great trait is ambitious. Again, it's just a boon to everything. So I think this is the character I want to go with, more or less. And we're going to change our dynasty name, actually. There you go. No kids. My starting health, ooh, that is a little bit rough. It's because I have both wounded and stressed. Well, I don't want my character to keel over immediately, so I'm going to give myself a little bit more health. That should be fine, because I should heal in time anyway. Okay, this looks pretty good to me. Let's go ahead and get started. For our options here, just because this is my first playthrough, I'm not doing it on Iron Man. We're going to disable Devil Worshippers, because when you allow that option from Monks and Mystics, it ends up just dominating everything pretty much. Secret religious cults, yep, that's fine. Mongol invasion, historical, shattered retreat, I'm going to turn off. I just think it makes the game super annoying. Siege assaults, yep. Unlimited. I think it's just more realistic. I mean, if you were a commander, you would always have the ability to launch an assault. You know, your men wouldn't say, oh, there are 5 dudes in there, but they have a level 7 fort, so I can't possibly assault it. Doesn't make any sense. That's all good, that's all good. Supernatural events, that's fine with me. Most things just default. I'm going for this playthrough to make it restricted, but it gets really frustrating sometimes. Matrilineal marriages is fine. Custom realms is great. Normally I hate AI seduction, but we're going to leave it on, just because it makes the game a lot more interesting. Way of life, that's cool. Dueling. I want to have a ton of duels. Let's just turn on unrestricted. Cool, alright, let's roll. So I do have a few mods on, nothing too crazy. The main mods that I have are better looking garbs, as you can see. And for my character page that you can see in a second, I have a mod that gives me more room to see all the different traits you can get. So for the most part, playing as Catholic is just kind of default. Lombard culture doesn't have anything unique about it, and feudal government's also standard. So I'm going to turn on my normal map mode, and as you can see, we're part of the Kingdom of Lombardy, but I'm the Count of Lombardy. So don't confuse the two Lombardies, because there's a Lombardy County and also the Kingdom. So let's get started. Council positions, I need to get the best counselors I possibly can immediately. I actually have started with some really great options. My Spy Master could use a little bit of work, but for the most part he's pretty good. Limited Crown Authority, sure. So for some things like what just popped up there, if you're not familiar with the game, you get to select whether you agree to vote in favor of what your king wants or not. So we can rise ourselves through the ranks too. So right now I'm a count, I can take over more counties, I can eventually become a duke and then a king and then even an emperor. So I have an ambition, right? So I decided that my ambition currently is to become Spy Master, which actually was a big mistake. I should have chosen marriage, because I can do that pretty much immediately. With the Way of Life DLC, we can also pick numerous focuses too, which essentially just complement the sort of ambition screen. So I'm now a commander in the King's army too. He just allowed me to do that because I have high martial skill. So my focus right now is going to be on business, because that helps you make a ton of money. You get some really cool events that are bordering on OP. I also have major positions for my council, and I can order them to do all kinds of interesting things. I am looking to be very aggressive and to expand. So I'm going to send my Chancellor to fabricate a claim on a nearby county, so I can hopefully take them out. My Marshal is going to train troops, so that I have more troops when I do go to war. My Steward will be collecting taxes. self-explanatory. The Spy Master's already trying to steal technology from the Byzantine Empire. And my court chaplain, he is going to go to the Pope and try to make the Pope like us more. So as I said, one of the things I'm trying to do in this playthrough is really leverage the power of the Catholic Church to my advantage. So the Pope has an opinion of you. In this case, it's net positive too. If he likes me more, I'll be able to do things like get him to give me a claim, just say that I'm allowed to own something, or I'm allowed to fight a war to try to own it. He may also give me money or let me nominate somebody I like to be a bishop. So the King of Lombardy has decided that we are going to launch a holy war to take over this area. The king just decided that. I had no say in it. I am a commander, so my ruler is over here in this little army. If the war starts going badly, I might recall myself and prevent myself from being a commander because I don't want to die. And I totally messed up with my ambition. So I'm going to get married anyway. I'm not going to wait. So of course you want to make sure that you can find somebody with really good traits. Normally, this would mean you want someone who's a genius or quick or attractive. So let's see who we might have.